Hello everyone, welcome to Analytics with Asmi. In this video, we are going to see one scenario-based interview question in Power BI. Generally, in Power BI interviews, interviewer might give you some scenarios, like they will provide you some table and ask you to answer their questions. So in today's video, we are going to discuss one such scenario-based question. So the question is, you have a country table with country name and country ID, and another data with country sales table with country ID and sales for each country. And here the ask is, you have to create a table with country name and its respective sales without creating any relationship in a data model. Yes, you heard it right. We have to create no relationship in a data model. Generally, Power BI auto detect and create a relationship, or sometimes we have to create it manually to join the tables. But here you have to create this table, okay, without defining any relationship in a data model. Means you have to create a virtual relationship between these two tables. Now you must be thinking, is it possible to create a virtual relationship? Yes, of course it is possible. So if you want to know how to create a virtual relationship in Power BI, please watch the video till the end. In Power BI, sometimes when you are going to create a report, you can come into a situation where you can't create a relationship between the two tables. So here I have created this simple data set to make you understand. So here in the country table, here you can see we have a country code 1 to 8 and a country names. Okay, now in the next table, which is country sales, we have a branch given, country ID is given, and sales for each country is given. Here country name is not mentioned. So here we can see we have only a 147, means India, South Africa and US. Okay, only three countries are mentioned here. And third data set is a region. In this data set, here we can see we have three columns: region, east, west, north, south. Region ID is given, and here country ID is mentioned, which is for India and South Africa. Okay. Now when you import a data in Power BI automatically creates a relationship between the tables. Here you can see country table is related to the region table to with one to many relationship. Okay, with this country code column. Another is country table is related to this country sales table with one to many relationship. Now what if you want to create a relationship between the region table and a country sales? Suppose if we drag this branch and drop here in region ID, it will create a relationship, but this is not a active relationship. This is inactive relationship. You must be knowing that in Power BI, you can create only one active relationship between the two tables. We can't create a two active relations here. Here the darker one is a active relationship, and here the lighter one, which is a dotted one, with the inactive relationship. So you can't create this two relationship. Okay, so to make this active, what we can do here, first I will delete this. Okay, delete this relationship, and I will delete this active relationship here. Okay, and now if I want to create the relationship between region and country, I will drag this and drop in this region ID. It will create a one to many relationship between these two tables. Now this is active relationship. So in real time scenario also, you will face a situation where you have to create a relationship between two tables, but it already one active relationship is present. So what you will do, that time you have to use one DAX function. The DAX function which we are going to use here is a treat as. Now let's see how we can use a treat as to create a virtual relationship. You are going to use a treat as DAX function when you have already one active relationship, and but you have to create another relationship between the two tables. Okay, that time you have to create a virtual relationship between the tables, because at a time only one active relationship is possible. Okay, now to create a virtual relationship, what we can do here, we will delete this relationship which we have created in a data model first. Okay, so I am deleting this because we don't need this relationship. We are going to create a virtual relationship here, and here we don't want this region table as well. We just want here the country table and the country sales table as per our scenario. Okay. So to create a table where we have a country name and a country sales, we have to use the both the data set. In the country data set, we have a country name, and in country sales, we have a country sales. But as we have seen that we have deleted the relationship between the models here. Okay, we have a no relationship. So how we can create a table like this? We need some relationship. So by using a DAX function, which is called as treat as DAX function, we are going to create a virtual relationship between the two tables. Okay, now let's see how we can do that. First, create a table without using a virtual relationship. Okay, so we will select a table again here. Here we want a name of a country and sales. So we'll choose the name of a country. Here you can see we are getting all the 8 countries, and we want a total sale for each country. But here you can see we are getting a total sales for each country, which is 3369. But ask is we want a sales like this. We want a sales for USA, South Africa and India. And for rest country it should come as a 0. Okay, and here we are getting a total sales only. So we have to use here the treat as DAX function. We will create a measure. Okay, go here to 3 dots and create a new measure, and we will give a name as country sales, and here we are going to use the calculate function. Okay, so here we'll write is equal to, now here we are going to calculate total sales, okay, which will give you the sum of sales for all the countries, bracket complete. And if we leave it is as it is, it will give you the same result like this. Okay, so let's enter this first. Okay, and we will use first this measure. So what we'll do here, instead of this total sales, we are going to use the country sales. Now look, we are getting a same result. Now further we are going to use the treat as DAX function here. Now here we further will add the treat as function, okay, to create a virtual relationship. So we are giving the comma, and here we are writing a treat as. Okay, so it will take the expression and the column name. Okay, so tap to select. So we have to write the expression. So expression is values. Okay, first we'll write the formula, then I will explain it. Tap to select, and here we have to use the country code and bracket complete. Here again you have to give the comma, and here you have to write the country table, country sales, and you have to select the country sales, country bracket complete. Okay, so here what we have said that we have to treat the values, all the values present in this country table with the column country code same as the country sales table and the column country. Which means that if you have a two table, okay, here in the relationship also we have seen that there should be a common column between the two tables. Okay, here we have a country code, and here also we have a country code. So when we create a relationship, we just drag this to this second table and we create a relationship. Same we are doing here. What we instead of that, we are just writing here a DAX function, which is our this country sales. Here we have written that we have to treat all the values present in this country table with the column of country code same as a values present in this country sales table with a country column. Okay, it will create a virtual relationship. Now hit enter. Okay, and here we'll take a country sales again, and now here we can see we are getting a sales for India, South Africa and USA. Okay, 147. But in the scenario we want a table like this, where we can see all the countries. Okay, so for the USA, South Africa and India we are getting the values, and for the rest of the countries we want it 0. So to create a table like this, we have to use a if logical function here. Okay, So to add the if logical function here, what we can do here, we will create a new variable here. Okay, so here we'll do shift enter for the next line, and here we will write a variable name as C sales. Okay, and we'll put this in the, and we'll put all this expression in that variable. Okay, now next we can do here, we have to return it. So again shift enter, and here we'll write return, and here we'll write if logical function, if it is blank, so we'll write here if tap to select is blank. Okay, tap to select our C sales, our C cell is blank. Okay, bracket complete, then you should give as a 0, otherwise C cells. Okay, C cells and bracket complete. So what we have done here, we have put all this expression in the variable, and we have finally written it, and we have written if the C cell is 0, then you should write it 0. If the cell is 0, you should write 0, and if it is cell present, then you should give the expression. Okay, now enter, and now here you can see we are getting a same table. Okay, let me maximize here. Now here you can see we are getting the 0 for all the rest of the countries where the cell is 0, and we are getting a cells for India, South Africa and USA. This is how we have completed our scenario. Hope you understood how to use a DAX function and how to create a virtual relationship in a Power BI.